It's Sofia Franklyn. You are listening to Sofia with an F, and the F is for phenomenal. This episode is brought to you by David's Bridal. From bridal and bridesmaids to wedding guest and prom looks, David's Bridal is here for it all. Book your free appointment, stop by in-store, or shop online at davidsbridal.com. I'm here with Mimi Bouchard. Hi, Mimi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Mimi has the most amazing hair in the entire world, so I just want to point that out. And also point out that you can watch this on YouTube, so please subscribe. Mimi, I want to dive right into it. Do you want to explain to people what activations are?
Yes. So maybe before I explain what they are, I can give you a very high-level story about how I created them.
Yes, please.
Because that's quite an interesting story.
Very.
So back 8 years ago, I was in the process of transforming my life. I was motivated to just revolutionize every aspect of my life, from my health and my body to my relationships, my self-love, to my finances. I was in a very different place almost a decade ago. And I had quite a lot of, honestly, depression at the time. And I didn't really realize it till after I got out of it. Everything in my life wasn't going very well.
Right.
I was still quite young, and I got into personal development young, which was such a blessing. But I really wasn't comfortable in my body. I had bad eating disorder. I had terrible self-image. Like, I really thought poorly of myself. And I was truly the most insecure person I've ever met. And then financially as well, I had at that time $8 in my bank account, and I had just moved to London. And
London's not expensive at all.
No, not at all. So I was like poor, like really didn't like how I looked. I was a bit heavier, and that wasn't helping my, body image and everything. And just generally like very sad.
You mentioned that you were partying like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And just drinking and doing whatever drug.
Yes.
And probably that was to cope, right? In some kind of way.
It was to cope, but I also just wanted to fit in so badly because I was so insecure. And I think it all fit into each other. The insecurity made me want to go out and be that fun party girl. And then I would just say yes to everything. So I was going out and doing loads of drugs and, drinking a ton and, smoking loads of cigarettes. And people honestly don't recognize who I am today, but truly just a shell of a human. And I was very numb because obviously things like drinking and drugs and even binging and overeating and anything of that nature makes you numb.
Yep.
I was so far from feeling alive and feeling present and myself. So I had embarked on a journey of self-development, and I truly, truly found this fire inside of me that just really said, I can create a different life. I can create a life where I'm a millionaire, where I'm happy and effortlessly maintaining the body of my dreams, where I love myself, where I can find a great relationship. I had never had a boyfriend at that point, and I, was only encountering boys. So there was a lack of love internally, externally. So I started doing what all the professionals say you should do. So I started vision boarding, journaling.
Yep.
I tried meditating. Meditating was very difficult for me.
It is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my friends, I've tried to get into it, which, to be honest with you, I've been doing the same app for like 3 years. And in the past month or so, I'm like tuning out. Like I can't do it anymore.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't about the relaxation of meditation apps. It was that I was on this journey of trying to transform my life, and I didn't understand how meditating could help me do that. It was just to relax me and to, make me feel less stressed. So I didn't feel like it was effective in any way because my intention with it was that I wanted to become wealthy, become happy, and become like, a goal-seeking person that achieved a lot. And I felt the meditating I couldn't stick to because it was quite boring. It was one of those things that I put on my to-do list and then never actually do it at the end of the day. And then I feel more shame. And then, so it was this cycle. So, but I knew that there was power in visualization because at that time I was doing a lot of research and reading a lot of books and books about psychology, about, the science of manifestation, visualization, reprogramming your mind. And I really wanted to find an audio that could help me visualize while I could do other things, because I was also that type of person that was like, oh, I can't meditate because my mind is going 1,000 miles an hour. I just need to go. I felt like really taking action and being energized and motivated towards my goals. I didn't want to calm myself down. I wanted to feel reinvigorated and motivated and have this intense energy about achievement because I really wanted to change.
Why do I feel motivated right now? I'm already okay, let's do this. Let's go.
So that brings me to how I created activations, and I can just say it quickly. So one night I was in my 200 square foot studio apartment in London, and I decided that I would create an audio file and I'd record a voice memo on my phone just describing my future life like it was happening in this moment.
So genius.
Like I was already this future self version of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I added music behind it on GarageBand. And then I created more, and I created dozens of them within the first 6 months because I'd listen to one, get kind of bored of it, and want another. And so I created these audios that I would listen to, and I added music from YouTube that was inspiring because I always knew the power of cinematic, inspirational music, and it changes your state so easily. So anyway, that was the first activation that I created, and I still have them back from 2016, 2017 because, they're still on my phone, and I listen back to them now, and it's crazy, Sophia, because every single thing that I wanted back then has manifested.
Wow.
And that was the original version of activations, and now I have the activations app, and these are motivational audios for every moment of the day. You can listen with your eyes open. You don't need to close your eyes and think about nothing. None of the activations on the app make you think about nothing.
Right.
They're all motivational, visualization focused, cinematic music, and just these different frequencies embedded in that our audio engineers put in there as well to help you actually change your state very fast.
Right.
And they essentially help you become your future self in everyday moments, because that is how to transform the fastest and easiest way possible. And I can tell you why throughout the episode. There's a lot of science to prove that as well.
Yes, and I definitely want to get into the science. This is why I love the app, is because the amount of times, and I've used visualization in the past, and I can tell you my story, but the amount of times that I'm with my friends and I say, okay, you're sleeping over tonight, let's do a vision board party, right? Let's go get magazines, which, do those exist? I have no idea. Let's get a printer, don't have one of those. The vision board party never ends up happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I have on my to-do list, make a vision board. And it keeps getting pushed back. And that's why I love the app so much, is because, and I would have never thought that there could be something to help facilitate your visualization,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes it so easy.
And it's more effective than doing a vision board because the audio really makes you feel a certain way. And the science of manifestation is not thinking of something and hoping it shows up, or looking at something and hoping it shows up. It is the act of becoming the version of you that already has what you want.
Right.
So when you listen to these motivational audios and you embody the energy of your future self, it's just a matter of time. Your self-image is going to change. The reticular activating system in your brain is going to readjust and reprogram so that you start noticing opportunities everywhere. Everything about you is going to start to change. Your personality, how you hold yourself, your energy, and that is how you, quote, manifest. I use the word manifest sparingly because I feel there's such a connotation to it now, and it's super woo-woo, but the truth is that this stuff works incredibly well, and it's science-backed.
Let's talk about that. Tell me about the science, because I do think a lot of people, when I ask them oh, do you visualize, do you manifest, they roll their eyes, you know?
So when it comes to your brain and the neuroscience of it, one of the first ones is what I've just noticed, or what I've just mentioned, the RAS, the reticular activating system. It's essentially a filtration system in your brain that decides what you notice consciously or you don't notice. If we didn't have an RAS, our brains would essentially explode with all the crazy information around us at all times. It would notice the air conditioning sound that we're kind of hearing in the background. It would notice how that car just drove by, or a siren's passing, or the color of that leaf over there. Like, it would just notice way too much, and it would be an overload of information. So naturally, our bodies have this filtration system, and it's triggered by your beliefs and your thoughts and your values. So essentially, everything you tell yourself is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you tell yourself that I'm a lucky person, just like that lucky girl syndrome thing we saw on TikTok a few years ago.
Yep.
It actually is true, because when you tell yourself, oh, I'm a lucky person, and you deeply believe that inside of you, your RAS is getting triggered, and it will start filtering information in a different way.
Wow.
So things that have already always existed, you will start noticing. So if, for example, you've been wanting to buy a red convertible, you're going to start seeing it everywhere. It's not like they manufactured that car more. It's because you're literally noticing it. And the same goes with beliefs like, I am a victim and I'm unlucky. You're going to start seeing reasons why that's the case. But then if you have beliefs like, I am an abundant person, I'm a successful entrepreneur, people want to work with me, you're going to walk into the room and feel different, act different, and see different opportunities. You might notice someone over there in the corner that you want to speak to because they have this podcast or because they have this business. And then you're going to put yourself out there more, and you're going to have the confidence to do so. So the RAS is one of the biggest things when it comes to this work. And there's so many more, but that's the first one I'll say.
That's, incredible. And I fully 100% believe it. Well, it's science, so that's why I believe it, but also I've lived it. I remember I was working in corporate finance in Utah. It was terrible. It was fluorescent lighting. It was in a cubicle. It was looking at these kind of legal, boring documents all day long, checking for a signature, checking for, is this business in a country that's sanctioned? Like, just boring ass. Looking for stamps, making sure there was a specific stamp on a specific page of paper, right? And to get by, I started listening to podcasts. And then I would get so bored and I was so depressed that I started just daydreaming. And that's, I'm calling it daydreaming. That's before I knew what manifesting and visualizing really was. And I would just think about, I'm living in New York. I'm like that New York City girly. I'm running around town. I have money and I have a podcast.
Look at you now.
Hi, here we are. And it's the craziest thing. I think it, from that moment when I started visualizing, and this was kind of, I would visualize every day. I think it was a year or two later that I ended up in New York with triple, quadruple the amount of money and with a podcast. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to my weekly wedding update, where I update you guys on where I'm at in the wedding planning process in partnership with David's Bridal. And I've got updates. That's the thing about having a wedding that's coming up in, I believe, 7 months, is lots of things to hit along the way. So this week, I decided to tackle the most important piece, which is the bachelorette party. I'm taking care of that one way before I'm taking care of even knowing where the reception dinner is. The bachelorette is just, I don't know. I've always fantasized and dreamed about my bachelorette because I'm already picturing myself in a little mini ivory bedazzled dress with a tiny mini veil and a big bow on top of my head, a little bit like Minnie Mouse, but way cuter, and make it bachelorette. I also have a dress code for the bachelorette, at least for one of the nights, which, by the way, if you are looking for a dress, it doesn't need to be for a wedding. Any formal event, holiday, especially with the holidays coming up, you guys can book a free appointment or go to davidsbridal.com and shop there. And you can get a lot of the things incredibly fast. But I do want there to be themes throughout the bachelorette weekend. And one of the nights, I just want all the girls wearing not so much a mermaid dress, but colors that a mermaid would gravitate towards, like greens, pinks, blues, aqua, just bright, fun colors. And I want them to all wear just little mini sparkly cocktail dresses. And I've just always loved that look. I don't know if it was Paris Hilton when she wore that little mini silver dress in the 90s that is to die, but that's going to be a theme. Where am I having my bachelorette? Good question. I've narrowed it down. I was trying to decide if I want to have it East Coast or West Coast, because I'm having a lot of my friends and family, because a lot of them are based in the Midwest or on the West Coast. I'm already having them fly to Europe for my wedding. So I had some resignations when it came to the bachelorette, because I can't just be, asking these people to just use up all their miles, all their time, and live on an airplane. So I did toy around with the idea of maybe having it in Cabo, which Cabo, Mexico, near and dear to my heart. I'm from Utah. You know how long the flight is to Cabo? 3 hours. Boom, you're there. It's gorgeous. You can't get in the water, but it's mountains meet ocean. But as much as I love my friends dearly, I think that I'm going to have them come meet me a little bit closer to the East Coast. So these are the options. And I know that my friends love me and they're going to forgive me. And I'm going to give them all the reasons as to why it had to be that way. But they're going to have the weekend of a lifetime, and I'm going to curate it and make sure it happens that way. But these are the places: West Palm Beach, not Miami. You heard it here first, okay? Hamptons. I was really against the Hamptons. I thought nothing about the Hamptons screams get rowdy, get wild, and have a bachelorette party. But we're grown now, and I think we can still rage, but make it Hamptons chic. That's option number 2. Option number 3, Turks and Caicos. I've never been. I know Drake has a house there, and I love being on the beach. Wherever my bachelorette is, it needs to be warm, and it needs to be cute, which is also why, you guys, please look at this. This is look at me turn my iPad around and around in circles like I'm in a circus show. The world is kind of made for the bridal era. You know what I mean? Like, the bridal era is so huge, but a lot of these places still don't make it easy. I'm like, okay, I'm new to the world of bridal. I need y'all who are the specialists and the experts to make it easy for people like me. And David's Bridal does that. David's Bridal has been in the business. They get bridal. And I don't know how many sites actually are set up like this. This is davidsbridal.com. You guys might have to zoom in. There are, with pictures, okay, above the screen, options for you to see what dress you're looking for. Bridal shower, engagement party, bachelorette party, city hall wedding, rehearsal dinner, reception, casual wedding dress, after party. Like, even just doing that makes, for a lot of us, our lives that much easier, which I just came to the realization that math might not be my thing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is why they call it the 8 dress edit. Light bulb moment. And also look at this dress. Like, this is the vibe I'm going for, except I'm gonna, be wearing a Victoria's Secret bombshell bra that's 10 size too big for me and like have cleavage up to my chin. And it's gonna be really classy, but I don't need to be classy on my bachelorette. Although this dress is classy. This dress is arguably gorge and classy and cute. So that is my little update for ya. I will have plenty more updates for you guys as the weeks go on. Remember, you can book your free appointment or shop online at davidsbridal.com. Also, it's not just wedding, it's anything formal. Check it out, sloots, on davidsbridal.com again. And thank you, David's Bridal.
It's crazy how much so many of us hold ourselves back by not even giving ourselves the chance to dream.
Mm-hmm.
Giving ourselves the chance to even think, what if? What is possible for me? Because before you even talk about visualization, you need to talk about self-belief and getting clarity on what that dream life even looks like. I have a 2-step formula to transformation in my work, and the first step is clarity.
Okay, I need help with that. So can we?
Yes.
Can we jump into that one?
You have to get crystal clear on what you want before you even think about how to get there. Because if you want to aimlessly go through life thinking, oh, I wish I had a better life, but not actually committing to doing the work to finding that exact crystal clear vision, then you're going to be going through life aimlessly. You need to have a clear roadmap and a clear goal. You, when you were daydreaming, thought, okay, New York City, X income, podcaster. That's enough clarity to get to that next step. And then your RAS gets triggered, and then you start noticing things and becoming the type of person that has it. So clarity is step 1 in the 2 steps to transformation. And then the second step is becoming. After you have clarity, you must become the version of you that has those things.
Yep.
Everyone thinks that once you've achieved that goal, then you'll finally be happy and abundant and blissful and full of life. That's not how it works. You must first be that future self version of you now. And then that is exactly what gets you there.
Yep.
If you want to go the long route, you can do that. That's the first option. It's just that it takes too long for me. I don't want to wait a long time to reach my goals. And it makes it less likely to happen. But if you first design this future self version of you and then deeply embody her beliefs, her thoughts, how she holds herself, how she dresses, how her posture is, what she does in her day, the routines and habits she has, honestly, you're then mixing past and future reality and living in this present version of you that has all those things. And naturally, when that happens, Sophia, you're going to manifest it. You're going to create that life.
So if I could give an example, if someone wants a red Ferrari, they're not supposed to sit there and think, I really, 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 really want to get a red Ferrari.
That's bullshit manifesting. That doesn't work. And as much as we love The Secret movie, we were talking about it off air, that's like, yes, and I believe in a lot of the more metaphysical. I am slightly a spiritual person for sure, but the facts speak for themselves. And the fact is that you cannot just think about what you want and expect it to happen.
Right.
You have to become the person that has it.
So what you should do, and it's kind of silly because it's like, is feel the feeling of driving the red Ferrari, right? Or like seeing it in your garage, or making it a present thing.
Feel the feeling of what it would be like to be the type of person that can afford a life that has a red Ferrari. And yes, visualize being behind that wheel for sure.
Yep.
But mainly, it's about your self-image. The father of self-image psychology, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, wrote this amazing book in the 50s called Psycho-Cybernetics. And since then, there haven't been any big books about self-image. No one really talks about the effect your self-image has on your life. And the more that I researched this over the years, I realized that this is the ultimate hack to change your life, is to first just change your self-image. You read all these books about changing your habits, doing it this way, doing it that way. But really, if you want to simplify transformation, think about the visual of an onion. The core of the onion is your self-image. All the outer layers are other things like your habits, your thoughts, your actions. All of those, if you want to go the hard route, you can change your habits, you can change your actions, but it will be very difficult unless your self-image changes first. And I'll give you a very simple example. You know, how hard would it be if you don't identify as a runner? Okay, I don't identify as a runner. And I don't really want, like, it's not a desire right now. So, like, it's fine if I wanted to be, I'd use this process. But think about a runner. And these runners that identify and have the self-image of a runner will wake up in the morning and put their shoes on, even if they don't feel like it, and go out for a run. Because it's just part of their self-image. It's part of their identity. But for someone like me, and maybe you, I don't know if you're a runner or not, but...
Nope.
Okay,
I've got running shoes on, but I don't run.
Well, for someone like you or I, if we told ourselves the night before, okay, I'm going to go on a run tomorrow morning. I'm going to put my running shoes next to my bed. I'm going to do it. And you wake up in the morning relying on discipline and motivation to put those running shoes on and go, that is not going to be as effective as if you change your self-image first to become more aligned with a runner, and then wake up in the morning and go on a run easily. So if that makes sense, like, the thing is with this example is it can actually relate to any area of your life. If you don't have the self-image of someone who earns a lot of money, you're not going to take actions that someone that earns a lot of money will take. So it's all about your identity. It's all about your self-image. If you want to change all the outside layers of the onion effortlessly, you're going to just first adjust the self-image, and then naturally everything else starts to change. It's easier.
My mind blown, exploded, because I have a morning routine.
Yes.
I've been using the 5-minute journal. I will listen to this YouTube and listen to daily affirmations. I am implementing all of these things, right? Have I really taken a clear look at my self-image and gotten clear on what it is and what I want it to be? No, I haven't.
It's the biggest thing, because we could be doing all the quote right things,
right?
But it's not going to be long lasting unless our identity changes. So, for example, being a healthy person and eating healthy and choosing the healthy option when you go out for dinner, that's another good example, because a lot of us find it like very difficult to make those good decisions. But what if you just had the self-image of someone who was extremely healthy, who took care of their body? You're going to enjoy, like, the green smoothie that you get instead of the croissant. And that's not to say you can't have the croissant, because I'm all about intuitive eating and not being perfect all the time, really trying to not be as much of a perfectionist as I used to, but as we were talking about earlier. But, you know, having that self-image is the best thing to lean on, because it makes creating the life that you want easy.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
It's right. I'm going to go home right after this and, like, write a list. Like, this is the person who I want to be. And then I'll put the spin on it and be like, this is who I am right now, though, because we are visualizing.
This episode is in partnership with David's Bridal, aka my BFF during my bridal era. I have been elbow deep in wedding planning this week, searching near, far, wherever you are, a la Celine Dion, for inspo. I scroll on my usual apps, magazines, and even try to get some ideas window shopping sometimes, especially when I'm in Midtown, definitely in Milan. But I gotta keep it real. David's Bridal's website has seriously impressed me.
it really came as a surprise and a really good one, just how good it really is. The designers, the variety, the vibes, soft glam, old money energy, full disco moment. Hi, my bachelorette. They really have evolved beyond just the dress. David's has been dressing brides for over 75 years, and now they're fully showing up for modern brides in every way, even for yours truly. Plus, they offer free in-store appointments, which, hello, we love. Book your free appointment, stop by in store, or shop online at davidsbridal.com. So, you had $8 in your bank account. I wanted to talk about the bounce back rate.
So I actually talk about this in depth in my book that's coming out in April with Hay House called Activate Your Future Self. And it's the bounce back rate is essentially the tool to help you maintain this new future self-image. So once you have clarity on what you desire, once you know how to become that version of you in everyday moments, then you need to rely on a tool that will help you get back on track after you've inevitably fallen off the bandwagon, because none of us are perfect. We're human beings. Perfection doesn't exist.
I love how you said inevitably will fall off the bandwagon.
It's just human life. We cannot expect to be perfect. Perfectionism actually holds us back. And we were talking off air about how we're both perfectionists or recovering perfectionists.
Yes.
And what I've realized, and I had to actually create my dream life to actually see the evidence, because for almost a decade I was transforming my life and trying to get rich, trying to get happy, trying to get healthy, trying to get in the relationship of my dreams. And I achieved all of that to a wild extent, and it actually surpassed all of these initial visualizations of mine, the amount I've been able to earn, the happiness I feel every day. It's truly like a dream life that I live. But I'm saying that also acknowledging that I never had one perfect day throughout this entire journey of transforming my life. And at the beginning, I would be so down on myself if I wasn't, quote, perfect. And when I mean perfect, I mean if I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. and then do an hour-long morning routine and then not check my phone for 2 hours and then eat gluten-free and paleo and then never procrastinate and then go to bed at 8 p.m. Like, there was not one day where I didn't slip up in some capacity.
Right.
But that's okay. I had to actually create this immense wealth and happiness and health for myself to realize that you don't need perfection to get there. The only thing that you need is a strong bounce back rate. And if you think of any successful person, any person you look up to, whether it's, you know, a very successful business person or someone that has an amazing body or whatever it is, whoever you look up to, you must understand that none of them even have ever had a perfect day either.
Right.
And if they tell you that they have, then they're lying. We're human beings. Everyone slips off all the time. So what do they have that we don't have? And I really had to think about that. And what they have is they bounce back incredibly fast. When they fall off track, they don't let that derail them. They don't wait for the next Monday or the next first of the month or the next New Year's to get back on track.
Right.
They immediately or quickly bounce back to being who they want to be.
I would say the most successful people are ones that have also had some of the most failures, right? But they had that high bounce back rate.
Yes.
When you were describing your perfectionism, I was like, hi, are you me? Am I you? And I've gotten way better at it. But I do this thing where I will have the things that I want to accomplish for the day. And let's say I don't get in bed by 10 or 11 p.m. I'll kind of start feeling bad about myself, right? And kind of like beating myself up about it.
Mm.
So now, what would you tell me to do differently in that instance? Just
if it's late and you haven't gotten to bed yet and you're scrolling or something like that, just don't even make it a big deal. Simply be like, I don't feel good right now. I'm going to close my phone and go put a face mask on and go to bed.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, when we make this big deal and become very shameful about being off track, in quotes, I honestly feel like it just causes way more harm than good. And also shame is a very low vibrational emotion in our bodies. And this is more of the spiritual quantum physics side of the work. If you are interested in that, your energy creates your life. And if your energy is of a certain frequency, that is going to match with the manifestations that you're creating. So shame is actually quite a low vibration that you don't really want to be embodied in. When you take life a little less seriously and you make it more fun being the person you want to be and less rigid and strict, it just becomes so much more attainable.
Yeah. My therapist, every session, will tell me and remind me, why are you being so hard on yourself? And instead, why don't you just be nice to yourself? Because that's how you're going to be able to bounce back, exactly what you were saying. And I also think that goes back to the self-image thing, right? And that I need to look at that.
Absolutely. And like being hard on ourselves, it's so natural, especially for type A perfectionistic women. And the reality is that once you get quite in tune with how precious and short life is, you kind of just let go of those thoughts. I think over the past few years, I've reached a little bit more wisdom than I had in my early 20s. And I've realized that I don't want to live my life seeking. I want to live my life truly being. And so many of us have that saying in our minds, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I have $1 million. I'll be happy when I'm in that dream relationship. We're constantly living outside of the moment and trying to focus on what we do not have yet. And when that happens, you waste your life. And that's quite an addictive way of thinking as well, because once you reach that $1 million or that partner, you're just going to think about the next thing. So you have to learn. It's this beautiful balance of like being ambitious, being a goal-seeking creature and wanting more out of life, but then also being happy in the present. I've had to learn that myself because at the beginning of my journey, I was all living in the future. And yeah, it works. It can work, but it also can work if you're happy in the moment while embracing your life. And it happens faster, I think, when you're living in that state because you're feeling those emotions of happiness and fulfillment even more.
Yeah. I could not agree more. And very recently, I've started to, this is going to sound like so macabre, but I've started to live my life understanding impermanence, and we are not here forever. And so why are we going to be either living in the past or living in the future? Just you can live right now. It's really all you have.
Life is only now.
Yeah.
Like the only time you can actually taste being alive is in the moment.
Yep. And so I kind of like the idea of death doesn't scare me. You know, I think it actually adds so much.
It motivates you.
Yes, it motivates you and it gives life meaning. Because if we were here forever, like, I mean, I don't know if I would get bored, but maybe I would.
I want to live a long time. I'm like, can't wait for stem cell technology. Like, I'm going to be one of those people at like 175 still knocking around.
And I'm over here like,
You're ready to go. Yeah. I'm like, no, I love being alive.
No, I love being alive, but.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. You have peace with it.
Yes.
I still have a bit of a fear with it, to be honest. Like, one of my biggest fears in life is waking up one morning in my old age and like looking back on my life and thinking, what if I, listened to my heart more? What if I actually did those things? So that's actually what motivates me to do what I do now, is that fear of regret when I'm older.
That's a big, big one for me too.
Yeah.
Huge one. Okay, let's talk about the actual activations and the app, because all of these things that we're discussing, it's like, well, how do we actually implement them? How do we make sure that we're doing it? And the activations are so phenomenal. I mean, I was listening to, I think it was like the 2-minute pep talk morning activation, and it was exactly what I needed. And there's so many different aspects, right? And so many different types of activations. There's no way that you could get on the app and not find something that speaks directly to you.
Yes. It's not, okay, don't overwhelm yourself for anyone starting the app and listening to activations for the first time. There's no way to do them wrong, because even if you're not consciously listening to the words, that's being programmed into your subconscious. And they're kind of like subliminal, as if you're not really listening to them consciously. But if you listen to them consciously, they also help you change your state. So no matter what, even just playing them in the background while you're going off, you're doing your chores, going on about your day, whatever it is you're doing, just habit stack it. And you'll notice as well that they make you feel so good, because it's like super cinematic, beautiful, inspiring music with these words, or even there are some that have affirmations only, but a lot of the time it's this guidance that just inspires you. So when you listen to this in everyday moments, your subconscious starts to change. But also there's something that gets triggered with classical conditioning. I'm sure you've heard of the Pavlov's dog theory, how Pavlov will ring the bell and the dog will salivate. The same thing actually happens when you listen to activations in everyday moments. And the trick here is to literally do it, to listen to them while you're doing something that you do every day. The quote, mundane. So for example, if it takes you 15 minutes to walk to work in the morning and you listen to a 15-minute walking activation, then soon enough, you won't even need the walking activation to feel abundant, confident, blissful, full of life, full of aliveness. You don't even need that at that point if you've conditioned yourself to feel that way while you're walking to work. The same thing goes if you're listening to a 2-minute pep talk in the morning while you brush your teeth. You can just have it on in the background, but soon enough, the longer you do it, you won't even need to play it to feel this like inspired, empowered way.
You're a genius. No, it's beyond, it's so smart. Let me ask you this, because when I listen to affirmations, I will listen to them while I'm doing something else. And then I'll be like, oh shit, I don't even know what the last few things she said was. And I'll rewind it. And I will sometimes, this is the perfectionism coming in, I will sometimes rewind like a 7-minute affirmation thing like 8 times and be like, oh shit, I didn't hear that last one. And I didn't let it like sink in, and I didn't do it well enough. And you're saying that's not, it doesn't
both
need
work,
to be.
But just put it into your environment.
Yeah.
Allow it to play in the background of your life. And especially with the activations on my app, we have our audio engineers add layers of frequencies that actually change your state on a cellular level. Like it changes how you feel, how your body is operating. So you could literally just have it in the background. Obviously, when you're listening to, like, we have loads of categories on the app, like our walking activations are some of my favorite, because it's like very much like you're the movie, or you're the main character in your own movie. Like you literally are walking. We have these amazing, amazing musicians compose the most beautiful music, that these musicians are actual composers for movies a lot of the time. And we tie that in, and to the beat of the music, you have these words coming in. It's a whole experience that like everyone just needs to try at least once. Like it's like that feeling. If someone asks me like, what does an activation feel like? I like to say that sometimes it feels like, when you're in the back of a car and the window's down and you're listening to a song and it's like an emotional moment, and you're looking out the window, and it's like, literally that is what an activation feels like to me, because it's like, oh, I'm the main character. I'm feeling every beautiful, juicy feeling that life has to offer me. Anything is possible. Like, it's that really unlimited feeling that it gives you.
Right.
So anyway, to go back to the point, the walking activations, I feel, give me that feeling the most. And then we have like so much different type of content on the app, because obviously our users like to use the app multiple times a day a lot of the time. So it's like having a bit of like a difference in category is really nice. So for example, like our cooking or cleaning activations might be a lot more affirmations, or our workout activations have different music, and it's probably just more inspiring and motivational words. And our walking activations are very guided and very emotional and very, deep. And we have seated ones as well if you want more of that meditation-like experience that's a bit more activation-y, as in less thinking about nothing, more visualization and actively creating your future. We have that too.
Guys, I'm posting a link in the description, by the way, because everybody needs to be using this. There were the walking activation. I'm trying to remember the name. Oh, becoming your magnetic future self. I did that walking the streets of New York. If I'm walking around the streets of New York and I'm even listening to rap, I already feel like I'm like kind of in a movie and I'm kind of like I'm already thinking, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I was listening to this particular activation, people underestimate how powerful music is.
Oh my
If
gosh.
you think of a horror film
Uh-huh.
and there were no sounds and there was no music, it would not be scary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, music is so much of the feeling. And I felt like the shit when I was listening to it.
Oh
like, I
gosh.
felt so good.
I'm so happy to hear.
But
you're right about the music. Like, I saw this meme the other day and it was like a Harry Potter scene, and it was with like sexy music, and it was like a scary scene in the movie, but like with the sexy music, it's like the teacher was like hitting on him or something. But in reality, it was like, I don't know. Anyway, it was funny.
The music didn't match.
No, like it was all about how music can change how a scene looks in a movie.
Right.
Yeah. And it was hilarious.
Because it was supposed
to be like a scary scene, but it was like sexy music, and it looked like, anyway.
I don't want to get too in the weeds. When you go on the app, because I've spent some time on there, it's not overwhelming. I feel like it's very easy to navigate, but I do really, really like the specific activations that you have.
You mean the targeted visualizations?
The
money ones?
These are the titles, guys. $100,000 a year income visualization. The next one, $150,000 a year income visualization.
It's literally for every income bracket, we have a visualization for it.
And I think that's so brilliant because it has to be an amount of money that feels real to you.
Exactly.
And so you have it for any amount, so that literally anyone can scroll through the targeted visualizations and think to themselves, no, this seems achievable and real, and I want to do this one.
And then once you've achieved that one, then you can go to the next one. We also have like manifest specific amounts of money as like a lump sum. So everything from $5,000 to $100 million. Obviously, a lot of people might feel a huge disconnect with those higher amounts, but I'm telling you, it fucking works. It's insane. We've had so many people write in to our customer support team being like, this is weird. I just listened to the Manifest $30,000 one and I just got this random check in the mail, or this crazy opportunity just fell into my lap. Like, it is so crazy how this works. And this is more of the like metaphysical, because sometimes things just happen like that. And I really do obviously believe in that whole self-image theory that I was talking about earlier. But what still confuses me about this work is the stuff that just happens immediately when you've just reached a new energetic state. And like, maybe that's quantum physics, maybe that's energetics, maybe that's your biofield attracting a different frequency, because there is proof that the biofield exists. In my book, I speak about the science of that, but that's your energetic field around your body. And quantum physics states that what you exude, you attract. So I don't know what exactly it is, but this stuff works so incredibly well. It's weird.
It is weird. No, I actually have chills right now listening to you. And because I'm also remembering like my past experiences with it. And I haven't done it in a very long time.
Why do we forget? Hey, I forget too.
It's because I'm waiting for the slumber party vision board.
No, you got to stop waiting. It's so crazy because even though I'm so in this work and like I've written a book about it and I have a whole business around it, like I forget too sometimes. I forget that like, oh, the answer to my problems is to just do this and just to listen to an activation and change my state and start seeing the situation differently. Like, we all forget. And it's so crazy because we can know all the benefits, but we can still forget. But what the trick is just that bounce back rate is getting back to who you want to be.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Like the motivating part of it is the crazy manifestation stories. And like I have a few crazy ones if you want to hear. Like
please.
Like you're
one of the craziest manifestation stories. You had $8 in your bank account.
Yes.
You had like a total 180 body change,
yes.
right? You lost how much weight?
Like 20 pounds. Okay. But it was honestly a bit less about that and more about like I was dieting when I was 20 pounds heavier, and I was like binge eating and purging. I had like a serious issue, and I wanted to live in a body that I effortlessly loved and felt comfortable in while eating whatever I wanted, and intuitive eating.
Yeah.
And like that is what I created, and that is the truth.
Right.
So
your dream job.
Yes.
What about your relationship?
Yeah, I'm getting married in July, and I've been with Ben, my fiance, for over 7 years now.
Okay.
So when I first started my acting, he's my first boyfriend. I know.
Stop.
Crazy.
That is so, I love hearing shit like that. That shit is so cute.
Well, when I first started recording my own activations, I recorded one on October 12th, 2017. And it was describing the guy that I wanted to be with to the T. He's going to be like 6'4". And I'm like 5'1", so that was ambitious.
Kate.
Sorry, tall girls. I took one of the good ones.
You can't be doing that.
I know. I'm sorry.
You can't be doing that. You cannot. 5'5" and above, they can. Okay. Just kidding.
It happened this way. I manifested too hard. So I described him. I literally described his personality. I described our relationship on October 13th, the following day. It was Friday the 13th in 2017. I met him for the very first time. And that is just one crazy story. Shit like this happens to me all the time because I so believe in this work and I'm seeing it and it works. So anyway, we're getting married in July, and our relationship has had ups and downs for sure. I'm not going to say it's been perfect, but it has reached a point where it is truly the relationship that I've only ever dreamt of before. Like, it is so beautiful, and we've done so much work on ourselves, on the relationship, and it's just been one of the greatest blessings in my life.
Oh my God. I'm getting emotional listening to you talk about it.
And you want to know the beautiful thing is that he found me when I was at my worst.
Oh.
He found me when I didn't look good. He found me when I didn't feel good about myself, when I was still, entering or leaving that party phase. It was still there, and I hated myself. And that's actually one thing that I will say. Like, I was talking to my sister the other day, and she is in her early 30s and had just gotten out of a long-term relationship with this guy that cheated on her. And, she's now kind of like, fuck, like, I need to really make myself as good as possible, and then I'll allow myself to find my person. And then I'm like, you know what? You can find him now. Because, when I met Ben, I was not my best. And he was also a different version of himself, but he really loved me into accepting myself as well. So I told my sister, I was like, you don't need to think that way. Like, you can find him now just as you are.
Right.
And it can always flourish and grow. Like, that's the I'll be happy when mentality. I'll find the relationship when I'm perfect. It's like, no, you can find it now too.
I love that you said that. And thank you for sharing that story about Ben, because I can tell it's very genuine and close to your heart. And I'm going to manifest my dream guy.
You absolutely can.
I'm going to do it today, but I need to get clear.
Yes. So just write it down. We
also how tall he is.
Well, listen, that's all the physical stuff. I was a bit more in my ego vibe back then, but yeah, I think the best thing is to write how he makes you feel. We actually have writing activations on the app, by the way, and those are guided journaling sessions. And I'm pretty sure we have manifest your dream partner on there. We have activations for everything. We have activations for before a first date. We have activations for after getting in a family fight at Thanksgiving. We literally have activations for everything. So there are loads on manifesting your partner in there.
There is not one thing that could be going on in your life that there is not an activation for. And that's really cool. I didn't know that there were writing activations.
Yes, guided journaling ones. They're really good, actually. And those are amazing for that first step in the process of clarity. because journaling has been really transformative in my life. Like,
Mhm.
because when you're thinking about things, like you lose your train of thought, your brain goes in different directions. When you're writing and putting pen to paper, it forces you to stay on one topic. It forces you to be present in this thought and finish it and complete it and have evidence of it. And when you write something down, you remember it more, you get clarity on it more, you can embody it more. And you can also, so in my book, I talk about how you can like write these declarations to yourself. And those are essentially I am or present affirmations that you have on a piece of paper that really describe the person you want to be in the present. And you can read over your declarations every morning, and it can be part of your morning routine. It's so nice and fun to do. It sets your energy right. And it's just like you read, it can be 5 to 10 of them, and you can read like, I am in a beautiful relationship with a man who makes me feel loved, accepted, and he fills my heart with so much love, and this is how it feels like. You know, I'm effortlessly in the happiest, healthiest body. I love my body so much. I've released insecurity. I am making X amount of money per month. It feels amazing. I feel so supported by money. Like all of those things you can truly create.
What would you say for people who feel fraudulent when they're doing these things? Because sometimes I struggle
It's hurting
with
them
that.
so much. The first step to all of this is that you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And you also need to recognize that you're 100% responsible for your life.
Yeah.
Like, this is a wake-up call. Like, you literally are 100% responsible for the life that you create.
Mhm.
I found that back when I was not creating my life of my dreams, I was a victim. And a lot of people have this deep victim mentality of, oh no, like I'm just not one of the lucky ones. But that in itself, your RIS is triggered to see that you're a victim. If you are telling yourself that's you're only ever going to see reasons why you are, why put yourself in that box? So you need to take full responsibility for your life, because
Yeah.
when you do so, then you see all the opportunities exist. Anything is possible, and that's the truth.
I also think it's extremely important to be wary of the advice that you get from people, or that people you really love and respect. You can listen to their opinions, but they're not necessarily true. And what I mean by that is, with my job, for example, I have had very stressful moments in my career, and my mom has witnessed them. And she's said to me multiple times from time to time, this job is too much for you. It's too stressful. It's not worth it. And do something else. And I think I totally get it. And she's looking out for me, and she's my mom, and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, she's changing my mindset, right? And I'm starting to think, oh, I don't have thick enough skin to do this. I don't have what I need.
She's just in mama mode.
Right.
You'd probably do the same if you had, like you want to protect your
100%.
kids. You have to lovingly allow this criticism or feedback, but truly listen to your soul and your heart. And if you want to create a certain type of life for yourself, you should really only listen to advice from people that have created that. And listen, there is a lot to say for loving, familial, advice, but you have to realize that those people that haven't done it don't understand.
Right.
One of the best pieces of advice I've actually gotten in my life is don't take advice from people that don't have what you want. And maybe it's a bit of a different situation because it's your mom lovingly telling you.
I'm like, Mom, please.
But
like, you want to be me so bad. Stop giving me advice.
Oh my God. She's like, I want my own podcast. I'm going to take her off the competition. No, but that is really sweet, actually, that you just have to tell her, listen, Mom, what I need from you is for you to believe in me.
Yeah.
And, but then also, take into consideration sometimes if, you can always learn from every piece of feedback is what I'm saying.
Yes.
But
you
there
can
are
learn from it, but you don't have to let it define you.
Yeah. But I remember times when I first, I had so many different businesses before my first very successful business, which is activations. I had so many different things that I had tried that I'd failed at. And I just remember being so open to so much different advice from so many different types of people at the beginning, and it really confused me. And when I realized that I only needed to take advice from someone who had actually specifically done what I wanted, then that was going to be great for me.
Very, very smart. Mimi, thank you so much. Anyone who is listening right now, you need to implement activations into your life. And I feel motivated as fuck. I'm going to go home and write down every aspect of my dream guy. Most importantly, his height. I'm just kidding. Most importantly, how he makes me feel, because we are grown now and we're looking for marriage.
Yes.
Okay, by the way. And I think my favorite activation that I just need to throw out there, confident energy while doing your makeup. I hate doing my makeup.
What?
I hate it. I hate
It's
it
like
so much.
therapy to me.
Ask my assistant
What?
Soap. I hate putting on makeup.
Oh my goodness.
And I get stressed and I'm like, my eyeliner looks like shit. I will never learn how to do it. But now that I'll have this confident energy while doing your makeup
it'll just help you romanticize the process.
right. And you're usually putting your makeup on to go do something where you need to be confident. And it's chef's kiss. And it's the new year, and people are trying to make changes right now. And if you made any New Year's resolutions, this is the place to be. Mimi, thank you so much. Where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can find me just at Mimi Bouchard on Instagram, and that's pretty much the main place you'll find me at the moment. You can also pre-order my book on Amazon. It's called Activate Your Future Self. I am launching that book in April with Hay House, and I think we have some special pre-order offers. I don't know exactly what they are yet, but go check it out as well. And yeah, thank you so much for having me, Sofia.
No, thank you. And Sloots, with that, I will talk to you next week. Bye.